What if I told you that in 2026, the average 35-year-old in America is still living paycheck to paycheck, relying on their parents for financial support? This isn't some dystopian future. It's our reality today. And it's not just about laziness or poor life choices. It's a systemic crisis that's reshaping family dynamics in ways we're only beginning to understand. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're 39, working a job that pays barely enough to cover rent, and your healthcare costs are eating up a third of your income. Now imagine your parents, in their 70s, building a retirement home with an extra bedroom just so you can stay with them. This isn't a story about privilege. It's a story about survival. Mabel Lego's family isn't an outlier. They're part of a seismic shift in how we define adulthood. The idea that kids should be financially independent by 30? That's a relic of a bygone era. Here's what's fascinating. This isn't just about economics. It's about the complete breakdown of the American dream narrative. For decades, we were sold the idea that hard work guarantees success. But today's young adults are facing a perfect storm: sky-high housing costs, crushing student debt, and wages that haven't kept up with inflation. When I talk to millennials, they often say, "We're not lazy. We're just trying to survive." And honestly, that's the most honest answer I've ever heard. Take the Zucchero family in Seattle. They're retired, wealthy by most standards, yet their adult children can't afford to live on their own salaries. Why? Because a house in Seattle costs double the national average. It's not about their kids being unambitious. It's about a system that's rigged against them. And here's the kicker. Even the parents who are helping aren't doing it out of altruism. They're sacrificing their own retirement savings, knowing they'll have to work longer or cut back on essentials. It's a lose-lose situation that no one signed up for. What this really suggests is that we're witnessing the end of the traditional family unit as we knew it. The empty nest syndrome is now a myth. Parents aren't just supporting their kids financially. They're becoming their financial lifelines. And this isn't just a generational issue. It's a societal one. When entire generations are financially dependent on their parents, it creates a ripple effect. Who's going to buy homes? Who's going to start businesses? The economy is built on the assumption that young people will eventually become independent earners. But if that's no longer the case, what does that mean for the future? One thing that immediately stands out to me is how this crisis is being normalized. People aren't even questioning it anymore. It's just accepted that 20% of 25 to 34-year-olds live with their parents. But what's the long-term cost of this? Are we creating a class of people who can never truly break free? Or are we just delaying the inevitable? I think the bigger question is, who's going to fix this? Because right now, it feels like no one is holding the system accountable. In my opinion, this isn't just about individual responsibility. It's about policy failures. We need to rethink everything from student loan structures to housing affordability. But until then, families like the Legos and Zuccheros will keep making impossible choices. And honestly, I think we're all going to have to get used to a world where financial independence isn't a given, but a privilege. What does that mean for your future? For your kids' future? I don't have all the answers, but I do know one thing. The American dream is no longer a guarantee, and that's something we all need to confront.